Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm here today with week number 2 of our Beginner Friday folios. And this week is all about the flips and flaps, okay? If you watched week number 1 was all about the waterfalls, okay? And I came up with this series because I wanted to make something that can hold a lot of 4x6 pictures. When Corey was a baby, your options were like 4x6, 5x7, 8x10. There weren't really too many options to print 2x3s or 4x4s or whatever. Now we have all the fun printers that can print all the different sizes right from your desk. But anyway, I digress. By the end of the 4 weeks, you should be able to take all these little lessons that you're learning and make one big folio that has all of the elements in it. And I can't remember if week 4 has all of the elements or there's something else. I can't remember. But anyway, so week number 1 was all about the waterfall. This is a simple 2-cover folio. Tons of pictures. I'm not going to really go through these that much because I went through them extensively last week. There we go. As you can see, just changing the paper and using different punches, you can really change the look of your folios, right? You can make a bunch of these for craft fairs, sell them for like 20 bucks. You're good to go. This week's folio is a trifold folio. A lot of times you see folios that are trifold, or you see them, they have like the little half page or whatever, and you use magnets. I didn't use magnets when I was sketching out my madness. I didn't account for magnets, and it's just fine. Okay, but week 3 and 4, we are going to use magnets. Okay, I use these basic gray magnetic disc in size small and large. They are pricey. They're like $6 or $7 a pack. So keep that in mind, but they're well worth it because they're so thin. They look like they're thick because they're in a bubble pack, but they're very, very thin, and the paper, your paper covers them beautifully. So you can get them on Amazon, wherever you buy your scrapbooking supplies. Okay, so let me switch my laundry and then I'll get into this. Okay, so like I said, this one's a trifold, so here's the front. I did use Stampin' Up! Very Cute paper collection, and I used the stickers from the memory cards pack. And then here's my first spine. Here's the back, a paper piece because I wanted to have some little extra interest. And then here's this. I added this sparkly velvet ribbon, and here's your front. All right, so when you open it up, look at how gorgeous. It looks like, oh, this is simple. You're not going to have that much real estate, but wait. As I was looking at this earlier, I came up with like the best idea that I'm going to do for my mom for Christmas. So she's going to get this one. My mom has 2 kids, and my brother has 2 kids, and I have 2 kids, right? So on the left side, I'm going to have this to be my brother's side because he was born first. So here you go. Your flips and flaps right off the bat. You have room, excuse me, for a 5x7 picture or a 4x6. Don't let my beauty distract you. And I even made it so you can tuck in, you can tuck stuff in there. You can also collage it up using your 3x4s and your 2x3s. Okay, have fun with this. Put all the size pictures. Now we're going to get to our sides. So you have room for a full 4x6 picture, or some 2x3s, or a 3x4, whatever, whatever. I would suggest that if you're going to do all 4x6s, don't even mat, okay? Because when you put that 4x6, you are only going to see the tiniest little 1/8 of an inch border. To me, that's not worth using a whole sheet of pattern paper, okay? So if you're just gonna do 4x6s, the whole book, don't mat. I matted the top so I can do different, you know, I wanna tell the story, okay? But when you flip it up, it's blank, so you can put your 4x6. And you can put your 2x3s, so it's a whole story, right? Put another picture there, right? Okay. And then you're gonna flap it, and then you're gonna flip it, and then you have a picture here. So my idea that I just came up with before I started recording was that I'm gonna put a picture of my brother and his kids here, and then put like maybe my brother, maybe make a collage and put my brother, how he looked as a baby and as he is grown, and then put Andrew Andre, right? How cute would that be? And then I could just put random pictures of the 3 of them or 4 of them, you know, with the mom or whatever in there. Wouldn't that be so cute? I love it. And then when you come over to the right hand side, it's the same layout. You're gonna flip, you're gonna flap, and you're gonna flip. This will be my page. So I'll have my picture there, and then I'll have like, you know, maybe I'll have my picture there. I have, you know, my family picture here, and then I'll have Lisa, and then I'll have Corey. You know, just kind of, I can have like a baby picture of one of the kids, and then their now picture. How fun would that be? Actually, it'd be really cute to do that. Like have a baby picture of the kid, and then the now picture, right? I'm loving that idea. So I'm probably going to do that for my mom for Christmas. Now, you're just like, okay, so now what, I can fit 2 more pictures here? Guys, I didn't leave you with no real estate, right? Location, location, location. Boom. Picture, pictures, 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 pictures. Big old picture. We flipping and flapping all over the place here. Look at that. So cool. So you can tell your story, you know, even if you use this page to journal, you know, picture it, January 1982, Tiffany was born, you know, and then boom, birth announcement, pictures from the hospital, whatever, you know, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You know, that's 1 year. Picture now, whatever. You know what I mean? How fun is this flippity floppity business? You can do all kinds of different ideas just with one little book. And it is so easy to put together, okay? I do want to point out a couple of things here. So for these flips and flops, I went ahead and I put the, I matted over my hinges. But for this one, I didn't. I just added some extra pattern paper. I matted behind it, and I think it turned out super cute. So that way it kind of just frames your 4x6 picture, right? With these cute little frames. So you can choose how you want to do it. You can mat afterwards, but I did before. And because there's no magnets, you can flip and flap this however you want. If you even want to, you can put all of these ones there and all of those ones there and just have your little book, you know. But I like the flips and flops. So I'm going to flip and flap mine. I think I just like saying flip and flap. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to pull up my cutting guide, and we need, I'm going to make sure I type my cutting guide correctly. 3 pieces of chipboard. Week 3 and 4 are not chipboard, so I just wanted to show you with and without chipboard. 5 by 7. All right, so 3 pieces at 5 by 7. 2 pieces at 3/4 by 7, which which I have those here. So 3/4 by 7, so they should match. They do. Okay. And then I have optional Tyvek. I do have 2 pieces of Tyvek that I put my hinges, only because I don't know if you guys remember, but we went through this phase of chipboard was the way to go for folios. Cardstock was not going to be good enough. Your hinges are going to rip. We chipboard, we Tyveked, we did all of that. And then somebody was like, nah, son, cardstock is just fine. So we made our folios out of only cardstock. So week 1 and 2 are chipboard with Tyvek. Weeks 3 and 4 are cardstock with no Tyvek. So anyway, so these optional pieces of Tyvek are 2.5 by 7. You can use cardstock if that's what you have, which is fine. So 2.5 by 7. Hopefully those are right because I already taped that one. Okay, good. Right. So now we need to have 10 pieces at 4 3/4 by 6 1/4, scored at 1/2 inch on the short side, 4 3/4 by 6 1/4, and they're all scored. And you want to put your tape on the dented side. So we have 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, perfect. And then we have 2 pieces that are 6 3/4 by 4 1/4, scored on the long side at 1/2. Okay, so 4 1/4 by 6 3/4, scored on the long side at 1/2. Tape put on the dented side. Perfect. All right, my cutting guide so far, I'm good. Because with the madness, you see, I write down, that's how I prepped, but I just want to make sure that when I type it correctly. Okay, so we need to take our chipboard first. Get this out the way. Okay. I am going to use tape as my binding method, I guess. Last week I explained the whole difference between tape and the old school cardstock wrapping, you know, where you put your 3 pieces and then you tape together 2 12 by 12 sheets, or in this case you probably need 3, and then you fold it, you wrap it, old school wrapping. I'm going to use tape. I'm using a cloth tape. You can use Kathy King's Paper Phenomenon P3 tape. You can use masking tape. You can use duct tape, somebody said, but I'm using the cloth tape that I have. Okay. So first and foremost, what I did was I took my spine pieces and my Tyvek, and I actually measured it out. I don't know why I was feeling measury. And I scored my Tyvek at, it looks like 7/8 of an inch, and then 1 5/8. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Basically, you just stick this in the middle and have enough on the left and right that you can stick your chipboard on. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of my tapes out. I have all the sizes. I have 1 inch, 3/8, 1/4, and 1/8. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this down. If you're not using Tyvek, you're going to do this with your cardstock. You can make it exact like how I measured out. Typically I don't do that, so I don't know why I measured it out, but I did. Okay. And make sure you don't have any overhang, and you're going to put this right in the middle. Here. And here. Okay. Now, for your spacer, I am making my spaces. I don't know if you'll be able to see with this color book, but they're 1/4 of an inch between the cover and the spine. So that's why I use my 1/4 inch score tape, which I'm running low. This is all I have left. I brought all my 3/8 inch, but I didn't bring a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to get that right up against that spine. That's going to be your most important measurement because that's your distance between your two covers and your spine. So that's going to be your most important. The flap size doesn't matter. You just need enough to get that up on there. Okay? Yes, that is a correct term. Get it up on there. Okay. So then you're just going to go ahead and tape the rest of your cardstock or Tyvek, whatever you're using. Where's my little squeegee thing? I don't know where it is. No, that's not going to work. Okay. And just make sure you have full coverage. If you trust yourself eyeballing, then you don't have to use that 1/4 inch tape. You can just use, 1 inch or whatever, but I don't trust myself eyeballing. And I want to make sure that I have great coverage, and so I have to use a couple different sizes. You could just use all of your 1/4 inch, but like I said, that's all I have left here, and I can't get score tape here. And by the time I order it online, it's just going to be too late. So normally I would just do all of it in 1/4 inch or whatever and call it done. But I can't do that. Okay. So we're all good with our pieces. This one I used the red line tape so you could see what I did. I don't know if you need to see that or not. All right, make sure your tape is varnished in, and only take off the backing of your tape that is not, so I hate red line tape. That is not the 1/4 inch because you're using that as a spacer. Oh my gosh. Okay, 20 years later. Okay. So I'm going to take a piece of my chipboard, doesn't matter which one because they're all the same. Line it up to that 1/4 inch score tape. And now you have perfect 1/4 inch, right? Or as perfect as you're going to get it. All right, we're going to do the same to the other side. I hate red line tape. I love it because it's so super strong, but the backing clings to everything. When Paddington was alive, he would have that all over him when I first started crafting because it would cling to the dogs. All right, so we have that. Now we're just going to repeat the same process on the, the third piece of chipboard. Okay. So we're just going to add this again. You're going to, well, first of all, you're going to make sure you don't have any overhang. And then you're going to line it up to that 1/4 inch. Remove the backing. Okay. And then put that third piece right up on there. Line it up. Okay. All right, so we have our 3 pieces. I'm going to move some of this business here. Now, this is where you're going to either decide to use your tape, which I hope you try, Or you're going to do your traditional wrapping. And with your traditional wrapping, you're going to take, I'm just going to use these two pieces of paper here. For instance, you're going to tape them together. You're going to, you know, lie it on there. And then you're going to wrap your cardstock around your chipboard base. I'm going to use tape. I do have videos for the old school methods, but I'm using tape. So for my tape, the P3 tape is way easier than this tape, but it is out of stock again because it's so hard for Kathy to keep it in stock. So I don't want to show you guys the majesticness of the P3 tape and then you can't get it and then you're mad at me because you can't get it. So use whatever tape you have. But definitely check her page, put yourself on the notifications so when it comes back in stock you get that P3 tape because it is far more superior than any other tape you're going to buy on the market. And this isn't scrapbooking tape. This is, I don't know, I found this in the stationery store. Okay, and I did that too short because I was not paying attention. That's okay, I can use that for my sides. Okay, I'm getting so much better with this tape. I'm so proud of myself. All right, I didn't say I was perfect, hence the mistake I just made. Okay, and I'm gonna lay this, make sure it's straight. And lay this here. Like so. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull it towards, oh, I forgot to take my backs off. Take your back off. I'm only gonna show you this, probably this one side, because, I mean, you guys will get it. All right, I'm gonna take my backings off. Okay, and I just want to let you know that when I did the sample one, from start to finish, it took me 43 minutes, and that included matting, and trying to find my stickers and stuff like that. So it took me 43 minutes to make this. When I'm doing a tutorial, it always takes me longer, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm pulling tight. I'm gonna get that in there. Okay, pull tight. Okay. Making sure that it's tight and smooth, because you don't want any bubbles along your edges because you will be able to see those. So pull it tight, as tight as you can. You're not going to ruin anything. You're not going to rip anything. Okay, pull it tight, smooth it into these cracks. Okay, perfect. Varnish it in. Okay. Yes, I do my tape different than Kathy does, for those of you who let me know on previous videos. Yeah, you got to do it the way you do it. Okay? I mean, that's just it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other sides off camera. And this is how I do my sides because my tape doesn't have backing on it like the P3 tape. And so it's a little harder to do it the way that Kathy does it. So I just found an easy way that works for me. So, you know, you gotta figure out what works for you. Yes, the master did it a different way, but yeah, I gotta do it my way. I feel like Kathy's the master of scrapbookers. My personal opinion. Anyway. All right, so wait, let me use this piece that I messed up on. How I do my sides is like this. Let me move this over so I don't ruin this piece of tape. This is like I don't know if it's a cheater way, or I like to call it the great value version, where it's good enough. Still looks great at the end. Okay, so I put my tape down, and then I pull it tight all the way up to the edges, but I don't press it all the way down just yet, okay, when I get to the tapes. Why? Because I want the look of the triangles or the diagonals meeting together. And so this is my little hack, if you will. Okay, I'm just gonna cut off the excess for the most part. And then what I do is, since I didn't put the tape all the way down, I can peel it back up. And then what I do is take my scissors and I just miter that corner. There we go. No fuss, no muss. Now I have a perfect corner, and I did it the easy way. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to peel it up and then turn my book to where it's comfortable for me. And then I'm going to make a diagonal cut. And then I will smooth it down. Okay? I do that on the inside and the outside. Is this a necessary step? Nope. Does it look good like this? Yep. But I wanted my mitered faux look, and that's what I got when I did it like this. Okay? Look at that. Perfect. I do have a little excess I'm just going to chop off. And see, and I don't have to worry about that because my corner is completely covered because it's technically like this. So I just like that. When you put your paper on, can you really see it? Nope. So that's just, see, you can't really see at all. But sometimes on the cover, depending on how you mat, you can see it, and depending on how much you give yourself a border. So I just like that look better, so that's what I go with, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and do my other sides. Okay, so everything's done. All right, now we need to go ahead, not everything, the cover anyway is done. Now we need to go ahead and do our insides. And so I am gonna go ahead and put my tape on the insides just so that way I don't have to put extra paper. That is the only reason why, because I struggle when I have to put paper in the cracks. The tape seems to do pretty well for me, so it gives me like a base layer. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So all I'm doing, you would normally do this with your cardstock, not your cardstock, excuse me, your designer paper to cover, you know, this part right here. And then you just make sure you mash it in. This time, I didn't want to do that. So I'm just going to use tape, and then I'll probably just leave the middle, these black, or I don't know yet. But Stampin' Up! Paper, I love to mat this part with because it's very, very thin. It's like, you know, only maybe like 2 or 3 steps above copy paper. So I don't mind doing the whole back with Stampin' Up! Paper because, like I said, it's so thin. But when I get into like Cartabella, Echo Park, that kind of stuff, their paper is super thick and I don't like to fight with it. So that's why I like to put the tape down, just to kind of cover that barrier. And then that way I can choose to do 3 different patterns. I don't have to worry about it. Some people like to put their piece of paper here to cover their spines, but then they do 2 different papers. You have that option too. It always looks super nice. It's really just your preference at this point. Whatever makes your crafting life easier, that's what you want to do. Okay? So for me right now, tape is the way to go. I'm not caring that it didn't go all the way down because my paper's going to cover that. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and tape that up just on the front. I'm not going to do it on the back because the back is fine with that Tyvek. Okay, after all that, I decided that I did want to have my paper covering this. And so what I have to do, because my tape is a shiny tape, I have to use score tape on this. If you have Kathy's P3 tape, you can use glue. I don't know about any of the other masking tape. I'm not sure if you can use glue or you have to use tape. So I just know about P3 and this cloth duct tape type tape. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just mat these down. I'm gonna mat down my backing things, and then I will show you how to put together your flaps. Okay, and I just wanna brag on myself right now. I've been doing mini albums for a long time, and normally I get bubbles and wrinkles and whatnot on the paper, but like just last month, the light bulb finally clicked on how to get this laid down with thick paper, no bubbles, no wrinkling, except for here because I accidentally tore the paper underneath, and yeah, this is tape under there that got all rolled up and now it's thick. But other than that mistake, there's no bubbles in my spine or anything like that. So I just had to brag on myself because I'm so proud. And it's just, I don't do anything different than what I was doing before. It just somehow the light bulb clicked. So the reason why I'm bragging about that is like, don't feel bad. Like if you can't get something the first 15 years, one day it's just gonna click. And it did. So anyway. Okay, so normally I don't pick chaos for my patterns, but I did today. Look at this chaos. I don't know, it made me happy today. Okay, so first what we need to do is, I just realized that I shouldn't have matted my left and my right. Okay. Well, we're gonna have more chaos because I forgot that if you mat on top, it will cover your hinges on the left and right. And I forgot about that. So we're gonna have hinges. We're gonna see the difference and you can decide what you want when it comes to matting. If you want to mat first, or if you want to lay your pages down so you don't see your hinges, that's going to be up to you. And honestly, it's going to be up to the universe if you forget. All right, so we're going to take our flap that is the one, it's one of the two, and they are 6 3/4 by 4 1/4 scored on the long side at 1/2 inch. And we're going to put that on the top. Okay. Yes, my book is upside down because I work better that way. Now we're going to take the other flap, that's that same size, and we're going to put it on the right hand side. This is your top flap, okay? I'm flipping my book over, I'm putting it as close to the top as I want. And I'm trying to make it centered as best as I can. There we go. Okay, so those are those two flaps. Okay, I just like to get those out of the way so I don't use them in the wrong place. All right, now you can choose to work in the middle or you can continue with left and right. I'm gonna work in the middle. So the middle is gonna give you some bulk, okay? They're all stacked up on top of each other. So you're gonna get a little bit of bulk, which is fine. We know that going into it. Okay, so you're gonna take your first one, you're gonna varnish it really, really well. And you're gonna line it up on either the left or the right. I'm going to start with the right. I'm going to turn my books to where it's comfortable for me. And I'm going to put it in the center. Oh, I got overhang. As best as I can. Leaving just the tiniest little border because I like a tiny border. Sometimes that changes my measurements a little bit, but that's okay. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and take another one, another flap. I'm going to varnish it really, really well. And then I'm going to put it on the other side. Okay. This one's going to be a little bit easier because now you have a guide. Look at that. There we go. Okay. So now working whichever side you want, I'm going to work on the left side. We're going to take another flap. We're going to varnish it. Let me check these messages. Okay. Sorry, this is my mom. Okay. And Walmart telling me don't forget about my flu shot, which I don't even take flu shots because I'm allergic to it. Anyway. Okay, varnish it really well. Take your backing off. Make sure there's no overhang. And now what we're going to do is place this right on top of that flap you already put down. Okay. You're going to varnish it in. You're going to line it up exact. Varnishing is going to help you cut down on a lot of the bulk. Okay. We're going to take a third one. Make sure there's no overhang. And we are lining it up again. So now this is the third one on top. Okay. That's it. I forgot how many we had on there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so just 3 on each side. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and close your other flap. So I'm working on my right hand side now. Again, I'm going to varnish, remove the backing, make sure there's no overhang, line it up exactly. For me to be straight, my book has to be crooked. I don't know. Okay. Line it up. Last one. Varnish that really well. Take the backing off, check for overhang. Make sure it's the correct direction. Line it right on top. Press it down. Varnish, varnish, varnish. And that's it. Open it all the way to the back. And if you want to have your flippity doodads, do that. Wait, I like it the other way. That, no. This one, this one, this one, then this one. That's how I like mine, I think. It doesn't matter which way. Nope, I had mine the other way. Okay. It doesn't matter. And you can position these to where they cover each other, but I thought this was really cute just to kind of see the little side piece. You know, just experiment with what you like. Okay. Let's go ahead and work on our right hand side. We're going to take another one of those flaps, one of the 10. We are going to varnish. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to put one on the left and one on the right. I think. Hold on. Let me make sure. Okay, so I offset them. So the one on the right is on the bottom and the one on the left is on the top. Okay. What did I just say? Okay, right bottom. Okay. So putting this towards the bottom, leaving whatever border you want or don't want. The reason why I say that is because I get guff on my videos when people are like, the border's so unnecessary. And then people are like, I love a border. Why don't you have a border? You know, do your preference. Okay. And then this one is going to go, maybe I can't get the back off. This one's going to go here on the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to miter a little piece of that. I mean, it's really not going to make the hugest of deals, but it made me feel better. How about that? Okay. And I'm going to line this up right to the top of that, but not going over that score line. Wait, is that what I did? Let me look. I can't tell because I covered it with paper. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to line it right on top of that. I'm not going to do that because my paper. I'm going to have to do that because I just tore my paper. All right. I'm going to have to because it's going to leave me, I'm going to have to cover that torn paper with something because I don't want that much of a border here on this side. Yeah, I'm agonizing over it, which I shouldn't be because it will be fine. Nobody knows what it's supposed to look like except for you. Okay. There we go. Perfect. All right. Let me get some water. Okay, now we're going to work on the left side. Again, varnish. Pull your backing. Make sure there's no overhang. This time we're lining up at the bottom. And stick it where you want to. Okay, the other one we're going to line at the top, so I am going to miter. I wouldn't have to worry about this mitering business if I wouldn't have matted first, but I'm human. And I don't have enough cardstock or anything to make a whole nother album for a tutorial. And I just mitered that on the wrong side, but that's okay, it don't matter. The most important thing here is that you want to make sure that you do not get this flat intermingled with this score line. You want to make sure it's under that score line. Okay. Perfect. All right, so your album, besides matting, is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and mat it, and I'm gonna show you guys what I did since I have these crazy marks right here. Okay. All right, this is how I mat it, and I can't even remember if I told you guys what collection this was. It's Simple Stories Heart Eyes. These colors were a little bit not my style, so I think that's why I just had an oopsie daisy, and plus the fact that I'm human. But anyway, so here's what I did the cover. I did Oh My Heart and a little little banner and some little hearts, and then I just kind of did like a divider strip. I just thought that gave a little extra character between the heart paper and this heart paper. Here's the back and this side. Okay, and here we go. You have your little tuck space to put your pictures. This is me and you. You can put that in there. Now, I fixed my matting on the left and right side. The left side, I did it the hard way. The right side, I did it the easy way. For your sanity, do it the easy way. The hard way, well, I used my undo to remove my 3 flaps, and then I ripped the paper out from underneath. But then when I did that, I ripped this, and so I had to put a piece of paper to cover the rip because you could see it in the placement of my flaps. And then because I had red over here, I didn't have red over here, so then I had to put another red strip there, and then I put this paper on top, okay? The easy way, I just put this paper on top. Yes, I wasted the stripe paper, but that was my fault. Yeah, the easy way, just do it the easy way, guys. Yeah. It's because I thought I double mat it, because when you look at this one here, it looks like there's two papers, but then I was like, duh, that was the spine, the little spine piece. So it's not double matted. So I put the spine piece there, and then I put the flaps down, and then I matted it. But it worked out in the end. The book still looks really good. With all this chaos, I still really like it. I'm going to show you a slow flip through. I just took the cut apart page and I cut it down. They are 4x6, and so it has a little bit more of a border than what I would want it to have. Like this one has a tiny, an 1/8 of an inch border, and this one kind of has like almost a 1/4 inch. But that's okay. I still think it turned out really gorgeous. This one I left the branding strip on because it made it slightly different. I just really liked it. And why not? There's a lot of chaos already. Why not add more? Okay. And then again, the slow flip for this side. I used the cut apart cards. Left the backs blank so you can put your, your pictures and tell your story on the inside. Put that there. And then, whatever configuration you want. Okay. And then the middle came out so great. I used the cut aparts on the right, or excuse me, on the left side, and then I used the kind of solids on the right. How fun is that? And then I covered up the black hinges with this paper here. So you can frame it out however you like. There you go. All right, so that is how I mat it. If you guys make this folio, please tag me. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.